Handheld Gadgets by Neil Morris. The whole world in your hands. Gadgets are small devices that we find useful. In this book, we will look at some gadgets that are small enough to hold in our hands. This makes them even more useful because we can use them on the move. Handheld gadgets are getting smaller and more powerful all the time. Look at cell phones, for example. Modern smartphones are cell phones that are tiny computers. They take photos and make videos. Many of them can communicate through the internet, see page 9, and do many other things too. Unplugged. Gadgets need to be totally portable. This means you can hold them in your hand and move around as much as you want. Most use batteries you can recharge, refill the power for. That's the difference between a desktop computer and a laptop, or between a landline phone and a cell phone. Smartphones can take photos and send them to other phones. How electronic gadgets work. Electronic gadgets work with the help of small components, parts, such as microchips and transistors. These components control and direct tiny amounts of electricity. Scientists have gradually made them smaller, lighter, and more powerful. When we press a key or a button to write a text message or take a photo, the electronic component turns our action into a stream of numbers. This is a kind of code. The gadget either stores the numbers or it sends the code to another device. The new device receives the signal. It turns the code back into the original text or photo. Waves of energy. Electronic gadgets use energy, power, to communicate with each other. These rays of energy come originally from the sun. The rays of energy are called electromagnetic radiation. They travel in waves. See the diagram on the right. Handheld gadgets use waves of energy called radio waves to communicate with each other. E-gadgets. We also use the word electronic to refer to anything that involves the use of a computer. This is what the E stands for when we send email or read an e-book on an e-reader. This diagram shows the range of electromagnetic waves. The low-frequency waves have the least energy. The high-frequency ones have the most. Low frequency, high frequency, extremely low frequency, ELF, very low frequency, VLF, radio waves, microwaves, infrared radiation, visible light, ultraviolet radiation, X-rays, gamma rays. Computers. Home computers were introduced in the late 1970s. They were originally desktop machines. As use of the internet grew, People wanted to be able to move around with their personal computer. This led to portable versions with rechargeable batteries. The screen folded out from the keyboard. Eventually, smaller versions had touch screens. Laptops. Laptops are small and light enough to sit on a user's lap. Smaller versions are often called notebooks. A laptop's battery recharges when it is plugged into a wall socket. It can power the computer for several hours. In addition to a display and a keyboard, a laptop has a touchpad that does the same job as a computer mouse. Laptops have become very popular in recent years. Many people use them instead of a desktop computer. The battery and clear screen of a modern laptop mean that it can be used anywhere. PDAs. A personal digital assistant, PDA, is sometimes called a palm-top computer. This is because it is small enough to be held in the palm of the hand. PDAs first appeared in the 1990s. They had the same features as earlier paper versions. They had a calendar, an address book, and a program for creating the text or words of memos and other notes. In recent PDA models, small keyboards have been replaced by touchscreens. PDA programs allow users to transfer data, information to another computer for backup, extra copies, and security. Since 1993, smartphones have taken over from PDAs because they do all of these things and more. Developments in technology mean that new, smaller gadgets can do much more than old, larger ones. Personal organizers. Many people like to keep an up-to-date calendar and address book in one place. Before computers became small enough to be portable, paper booklets were kept in leather wallets to form personal organizers. Other pieces of stationery could also be kept in the same place. These are still popular with some users, but electronic personal organizers or digital assistants have replaced most paper versions. Tablet computers and the Internet. Tablet computers, are small computers with a touchscreen. Apple launched its iPad in April 2010 in the United States. They sold 3 million iPads in 80 days. Wireless connection to the Internet is very important for these devices. It allows users to browse the World Wide Web, see opposite, send and receive email, and play games using their tablet computer. Who did that? Apple Man. In 1974, a 19-year-old computer technician named Steve Jobs began working on new programs for video games in California. In 1976, he founded a computer company called Apple with two other people. By 1981, the company had sales of $335 million. By 2009, Apple's sales were more than 100 times greater than that, and Steve Jobs was still its boss. He has invented or helped invent many things used in computing. This tablet computer uses software to turn the screen into a musical keyboard.